Hi, my name is Mark Evans, and perhaps the next handful of minutes may be the most important few minutes of your life. So thank you for taking a little bit of time to learn about a company called IWowWe. Now, I'm sure that you would agree that in business, timing is more important than talent. You know, it's kind of like this. If you and I could get in a time machine at the end of today and take an investment of money and go back in time to when Microsoft launched or Apple launched, the question is, how much money would you invest? Well, if it was me, I would sell everything that I owned. You see, business timing is so important. So I'm going to show you, I'm actually just going to tell you a story today about a technology company. I'm going to walk you through a couple important kind of aspects or features of what's going on in our world today. Business timing is so important. We all know, I'm going to grab my mobile phone. We all know that everything today is going mobile and everything is headed towards video. Video and mobile really is the timing of today in terms of the marketplace of technology. It's a great space to be in if you have a desire to make some money. So I'm going to walk you through IWowWe, and this up here says the players. There's several people that are a part of this company, and let me just tell you a little bit about this journey. The owner and founder of our company is a guy by the name of Bill Starkey. He's been very successful throughout his years, both in the network marketing profession as well as in just the technology world. For example, I'm sure you've heard of a company called the Lending Tree. The original architect of the software that became Lending Tree was the owner of this company, Bill Starkey. He also wrote a software that became really significant in the automobile industry. Well, about 7.5 years ago, he started having this idea, and it's really amazing. He's just one of those visionary people. He was sitting around with a guy by the name of Rod Canyon. Who was Rod Canyon? Rod Canyon was the co-founder of Compaq Computers. He did $1 billion of business faster than anybody in the world has ever done. So they're at this golf course, and they're having lunch, and Bill Starkey starts sharing with Rod Canyon this vision for being able to live stream video person to person on a mobile device. It's pretty amazing to think back 7.5 years ago, back what cell phones were like back in that day. Well, he starts telling this vision to Rod Canyon, this idea, and Rod Canyon gets on the phone and calls somebody by the name of Bill Gates. You see, back when Compaq Computers was getting ready to be launched, Rod Canyon flew Bill Gates down to Texas and simply said, hey, let's map out a plan. Let's put all of the Microsoft products, Windows, into every Compaq computer. So Rod Canyon calls Bill Gates during this lunch with Bill Starkey, hands Bill Starkey the phone. Bill picks up the phone, says hello, and it's Bill Gates on the other side. Bill Gates says, I don't know who you are, but you must be awfully important if Rod Canyon got you on the phone with me. Let me tell you my story. I owe everything that I am to Rod Canyon from Compaq Computers. So Rod Canyon, they finish this phone call. Rod Canyon looks at Bill Starkey and says simply this: if you build this company, I will back you. From there, they went and engaged a gentleman by the name of Dick Conrad with Hewlett-Packard Computers. He was the person that made the process possible for really expansion for HP. Then they went and got a guy by the name of Michael Stewart. You know, every time you pump gasoline, there's this microprocessor that measures the flow of gasoline. That was created by a guy by the name of Michael Stewart. What was that company? Intel, right? Pretty amazing when you kind of take the veil away from this company and you start to see who the players are. So then Bill launches this company and goes out and gets about 2,000 major corporate clients, everything from Procter & Gamble, Wells Fargo, American Express. I could go on and on and on. He began to assemble this IT team that is one of the leading developers of technology in the world today. Who else did he bring to the stage? Michael Nolan. Michael Nolan was one of the lead architects of the WebEx platform. He was the architect of the database that was the most complex database ever written, called the Cache for Clunkers. Now, trust me, the government kind of messed that up, but the database was really extraordinary. The two guys that invented the ability for you and I to get on the internet on a smartphone worked for us full time. I'm sure you've heard of Twitter, right? Twitter wouldn't be Twitter if it wasn't for a guy by the name of Jake Stevenson. You see, because Jake Stevenson created the ability for you and I to do Twitter from a mobile device. Guess who he works for? IWowWe. We just brought in a big player from Apple that was part of the team, one of the key players actually in the team that created the iPhone and the iPad. In other words, IWowWe right now is developing one of the leading developer companies, kind of technology development companies in the world today. Again, the players behind this company are really significant. The services that IWowWe has, video, email, broadcasting, but let me give you a snapshot of where we're headed because this is really important. Have you ever wondered why on a smartphone there is a front-facing and a rear-facing camera? Well, you know, it's not to take a picture of me taking a picture of something else, right? It's simply because of what's coming. Just as the days changed from 8-track tapes to cassette tapes to DVDs to MP3s, so is the world of communication changing. You're going to be able to put this phone in the cradle of your car and be able to live stream video and talk to your wife or your kids while you're driving down the road. Imagine our world. Maybe let's say your kid has a soccer game and you're not able to go, but your wife is there and you're in your office, or maybe you're traveling, but simply she's going to be able to take this button on her smartphone, push a button, and you're going to be able to watch your kid play soccer. You know, that's just extraordinary. Maybe your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road and you call your mechanic and he goes, man, I wish I could see what was going on. We're going to be able to open the trunk of your car or the hood of your car, push a button and just say, here, let me show you what's happening. It will change how the world communicates. Let me tell you about our past and really where this captured me. My grandma and grandpa, Willard and Bernice Evans, they lived through this transition of the world of when we changed from radio to television. You remember those days? Could you imagine what that was like in that time where they're all huddled around a little, sitting on the couch and the wood stove and whatever, right? And they're listening to the radio and the storytelling and the news. Think about what that was like back in those days when all of a sudden the television appeared. It changed the whole world. Do you remember those days when the personal computer first came out? My parents, Paul and Connie, right? I look back and say, oh man, I wish my mom and dad had known what Microsoft was going to do, what Apple was going to do. You probably remember what it was like when the mobile phone first came about. And, we used to stop and use a payphone when we were in the car and we needed to call home or whatever to check in with somebody. Remember when the payphone or when the first cell phone came out, it was the size of a trunk, like the size of a suitcase, right? It was amazing. This change of communication. You see, when there's a change of communication, again, timing is more important than talent. If you had positioned yourself during that time and had known what was going to happen to the world, you and I could have made a tremendous amount of money. You see, we're in that same exact moment again, and it's happening mobile and it's happening video. IWowWe is positioned to be the leader in that field in the world. It is coming like a freight train. Bill Starkey is on a mission to change the world. He tells this story that about 2.5 years ago, because you see, when WowWe started, it was a traditional corporate sales model. And he was sitting on his couch one day watching the news like we do, and all that he was hearing was doom and gloom about the economy and things going on in the world. And he stood up out of his chair and he looked over at his wife and just said, somebody's got to do something about this. And she kind of looked at him and said, well, yeah, let's get on with it already. So Bill Starkey decided to take this major technology company and turn it over to people like you and I, where we can make an impact on the world. Friends, if you've been looking for the right place, the right time, the right market, the right company, the right team, the right support, the right structure, things to help you win for your future, now is that time. Bill is going to pay out more money today in network marketing, and this is an absolute fact. Bill hired some people literally to craft our compensation plan so that it could be defended in court, so that he can stand up in front of a crowd and say, this is the highest paying compensation plan in network marketing in the world today. We challenge you to challenge that, right? Seriously, take a look. He's paid out last month 82% of the money. Capture this, 82% of the money last month that came into the company got paid back out to the affiliate field. That is absolutely unheard of. He has just gone and brought on a big player to help lead the marketing and kind of the leadership of the company by the name of Buck Steffens. You've probably heard of Jim Rohn. He was one of Jim Rohn's right-hand guys. He is building a facility or going to create a facility in Las Vegas called IWowWe University, where affiliates around the world are going to be able to come and get support and get training. And for those of us that really want to take this seriously, friends, if you have wanted a way to win for your family, I invite you to join, because here's the deal. The timing is in place, okay? The players for this company are in place. We just brought on a major team leader by the name of Paul Paget. I've been able to spend the last month or so getting to know with him, working with him, learning from him. He is a multi-million-dollar earner in network marketing who is leading the charge. You guys, there is the support in place to help you win. The services, both for now and for the future, are in place. Bill is paying out more money. As a matter of fact, you get paid 72 hours after somebody gets joined. You get it directed to any bank account and credit card that you want. We are paying last month, catch this, in 103 countries. That ought to blow your mind. To do that in a 2.5-year period of time, that's absolutely unheard of. Friends, the thing that's missing right here in the middle of this is you. I invite you to join this team, join this movement. We're going to change the world, and we're going to start with your family. So get back with whoever invited you. God bless. Thanks for learning about IWowWe.